From Washington, this is VOA News. I'm Ray Kouguell reporting. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is accusing pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine of violating an earlier truce deal with a blatant land grab and new fighting near the Russian border. Secretary Kerry spoke Wednesday in Washington, calling the new fighting an alarming situation, adding that rebels have violated a deal they signed in September by extending their control of disputed territory more than 1,000 square kilometers. Earlier Wednesday, Ukraine linked the new fighting, much of it near the rebel-controlled cities of Donetsk and Luhansk, to the recent deployment of more than 9,000 regular Russian troops into Ukraine territory. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov lashed out at President Obama's criticism of the Kremlin's actions in Ukraine. VOA's Daniel Schearf reports.
Russia's Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov said Wednesday that President Obama's comments showed the U.S. has adopted a policy of confrontation and failed to assess its own actions. During his State of the Union address Tuesday, Mr. Obama said U.S. support for Ukraine was a principled stand against Russia's bullying of a smaller state. The U.S. president also noted its allies were united against Russia's aggression, while Moscow faced diplomatic isolation and a tattered economy. Mr. Lavrov said the U.S. had pressured allies such as Europe and Japan to gang up on Russia. Daniel Schearf, Moscow.
Kurdish fighters launched what they call a new large-scale offensive against Islamic State in northern Iraq. Kurdish security officials say they are carrying out the operation near the Mosul Dam. They have been backed by 3 U.S.-led coalition airstrikes near Mosul and 3 more airstrikes near Tal Afar. A number of Islamic State buildings and heavy weapons were destroyed. This is VOA News. Yemen's embattled President Abdrabbu Mansour Hadi says he reached agreement with Houthi rebels who've besieged his palace residence, offering to scrap a proposed constitutional change that Houthis opposed. The rebels, in turn, agreed to withdraw from their seized positions and release a top official kidnapped last Saturday. The concessions came after 3 days of violence in the capital, Sana'a. Nigeria's militant group Boko Haram claimed responsibility for mass killings in the city of Baga and is promising even more. A video posted online Wednesday shows the Islamist group's leader, Abu Bakr Shekau, declaring, "We carried out the Baga massacre and we are going to do more." Fighters are seen showing off what appear to be thousands of rifles, along with grenades, rocket launchers, machine guns, and stacked boxes of ammunition. A top Lord's Resistance Army commander is now in custody at the International Criminal Court in The Hague. Dominic Ongwen will undergo medical exams after being flown in from the Central African Republic. His arrival at the court ends an almost 10-year effort to have him face 3 counts of crimes against humanity and another 4 counts of war crimes. Israeli police say a Palestinian man stabbed at least 11 people on or near a bus in Tel Aviv, leaving several critically wounded. The attack Wednesday began with a man stabbing the bus driver and several passengers. Police say he stabbed another person on the street while trying to flee. The 23-year-old suspect was shot in the leg and then captured. The Republican Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, John Boehner, invited Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to address a joint meeting of Congress next month on the threat posed by Iran and radical Islam. Mr. Boehner, however, did not consult the White House first, and White House spokesman Josh Earnest says the invitation seems to be a departure from normal protocol and that the White House is reserving judgment until they speak with Israeli officials. 2 weeks after the Paris terrorist attacks, the French government is now implementing new anti-terrorism measures. It will take a boost in spending, though, to pay for all of it. Lisa Bryant explains.
The new measures range from hiring nearly 2,700 more security personnel to recruiting more imams for French prisons and offering information on the internet aimed at preventing youth from becoming radicalized. Speaking Wednesday on television, Prime Minister Manuel Valls said the government will spend an additional $490 million during the next 3 years to pay for them.
La protection des agents sur la voie publique.
Mr. Valls said protection of police and other security officers will be upgraded to account for the presence of war weapons on the streets. Lisa Bryant, Paris.
I'm Ray Kouguell in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.